Hello. So your first lesson for flute. Before we start anything, okay, what we will do is we will do a prayer to Mata Saraswati. Okay. For any time you do riyaz practice, it is recommended that you at least take her name. Okay. So let us chant one mantra. I will give it to you in writing also. Om Shame Vasatu Jefyayam Veena Pustakadharinim Murari Ballava Devi Sarva Shukla Saraswati. Okay, so I'm using this flute. I generally use this flute. It's a very long flute. The scale is E bass. Okay, so there are many types of flute scales. We will discuss about them later. I'll give them in writing format. Um, the theory part of music and flute is not that much, but it helps. So we'll go for it later. So the flute that you will be trying now, I think, is A, which I sent. So you can start with that. So let's check out the flute. All the flutes are typically of the same type. This flute, the flute that even you have, this is the Hindustani type of flute. Okay, let's count the number of holes we have. So this is the first hole. Okay, this is technically the blowing hole. So we do not count this as one of the holes of the flute. This is just meant for blowing. Okay, so So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. So these are generally 6-hole flutes. Also, you will find towards the side there is another hole. Okay. This is just given for clarity of sound. Okay. You do not have to worry about it. You don't have to work on it anything. Just let it be. Okay. Now let's start with the basics. Okay. So the practicals of flute is divided into two parts. First is the technique of blowing. How you have to blow into the hole. It has to be a controlled flow. For higher notes, it has to be a little sharper throw. The throw should be a little sharper. So, and the second part is the fingering. How you hold the flute and how you play your fingers over it, over the 6 holes. Okay. So we'll come to the blowing part later. First, let's learn how to hold a flute properly. Okay. So this is the proper way of holding the flute. Okay. Now, so what you do is, when you hold the flute, first practice your fingers. Don't have to practice blowing the notes, playing the notes right off. Okay. What we do is, since we are working professionals, we don't have time. So what we do is, we set our fingers on the flute. Okay, and keep it like this, so that our hands are accustomed to the flute. Okay, how do we do that? So we use these 3 and 3, 6 fingers to blow the holes. Okay, to play the flute, and the rest of the 4 fingers I use to hold it properly in place. Okay, so let's start with the first hand. So this is my left hand. So here you take these 3 fingers and place them over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, very important. Some people, by mistake, they use this part, the first part of the finger, to close the hole like this, or this. Let me tell you, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. This is how I first learned, and my fingers used to pain a lot, and hence I had to change it. And then I learned the correct way of holding the flute, which is using the middle part. Okay, the middle part, this part. Okay, try using this part, and for the last finger it might go over here. Okay, that's okay. So how do we do it? See, I will place my finger here like this, the second one like this, the third one, since the finger is a little short, I can use the tip. Okay, not the tip but around here. Okay, so this is how you hold the flute, and use your thumb like this or like this. Okay, see, like I'm holding it like this. Some people like to hold it like this. Okay, and keep the pinky over here for support. This is also permissible. This is also permissible. Okay, but it is generally recommended not to hold it like this. Okay, generally we hold it like this here. The thumb should be here, not here. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because in long term, when you're playing for a longer time, this will cause your hands to ache. Okay, so this is exactly how you hold the flute with the first hand. Okay, but if you notice, you have to like open and close the holes eventually. So the flute is not balanced. You need another hand. So for this one, place the thumb here, and then again in the similar fashion, use the middle part of your finger to close this. Okay, like this. The second one also, and again the third one, since it is a little longer flute, the flute is a little bit longer, so I'm using the last part of my finger to close it. And you can rest the pinky over here, and the thumb still goes like this. The thumb should not be kept like this, not be kept like this. It should be kept like this. Otherwise, again, see, this is the natural position of our fingers. So you keep it like this, and it will not ache. Otherwise, it might ache. Okay. Okay. So this is how you hold the flute. This is the complete setup. You can see small directions. Okay. Now, for your first task, use your fingers to hold the flute like this, and since we do not have that much time, we will rest our fingers in this way for long periods of time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes at one go. Start by 5 minutes, start with 5 minutes, go to 7 minutes, and then 10 minutes. 10 minutes at a stretch if you can hold the flute like this. Suppose you're watching a movie. Place your hands like this, keep it here like this, just keep it here, and then you can watch a movie. Just let your fingers be in this position. Okay, so slowly you can increase the time. Start with like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it will take some time before you are accustomed to the flute. Okay, this is the holding of the flute. Simultaneously we have to blow the hole here. Okay, now that is a bit difficult again, since we have time constraints. What we can do is practice the blowing separately. Okay, then once we are a little bit accustomed to both the things, we will combine them and practice. Okay, so I told you about the holding of the flute. The next will be to blow into the hole. You see this is the blowing hole. Okay, just hold your flute like this, just hold one end like this, the other end like this, and all you gotta do is try to blow into this hole. Okay, now how do you blow into the hole? Do you remember when in childhood we used to blow the pen caps like this, whistle them? It is something similar. But what you have to remember is that we don't have to put a lot of effort. Our goal is to position the mouth here in such a way that almost all the air, 80% to 90% of the air that we will be blowing down, should go inside this hole and not go outside. Okay. With practice, this will come. So like I'm blowing the hole, and You don't have to worry about closing the holes any right now. We will do it in some other text. So this one. So the best technique is to keep the hole adjacent at right angles actually. Okay, so you blow in like this. Okay, your blow should be coming like this, and we don't blow like, no. The blow the position of the lips should be like this. Okay, so you blow downwards. Place the flute here and adjust it like this. Adjust it, rotate it to adjust. Okay, you can rotate it and adjust. Keep blowing. So start from here. Okay, so that's the position. So what you have to do is find out this position. Okay, it is different for people. It depends upon the structure of your lips and how you are blowing. So just experiment with this until and unless you get a very fine tune. Okay, and then keep on practicing with this to produce a good sound from this. And what you have to avoid is producing any hissing noise. Okay, see. See, there are two sounds that I am producing here. There is a hissing sound of the air that is not getting inside the flute, and there is one that is actually going inside the flute properly, and there is no disturbance or noise. Okay, like. Okay. Now we don't have to worry about the scale and anything right now. Just practice these two things first for at least 10 days. Okay, and after that we'll combine these two and see what we can do. Okay, we'll improve upon things. It will take time, and practice. It is not going to be like, okay, like hoye gache ektu and I thought ki chalo I've learned it. No, that's not how it happens. You will produce the sound well one day. The other day you will not be able to produce any sound, and it has happened to me. Okay, so I will recommend you to sit at least 20 to 30 minutes every day in the initial stage at least. After you get to a stage, you can reduce that. Okay, you should be ready to like produce the sound at any time given. Okay, so that will be it for this, and just practice these two things: fingering, blowing. Okay.